I'd like to introduce to you the members that are up on stage with me right now. We have 3 2024 award recipients sitting to my left that I'll introduce in just a few minutes, so I'm not going to start with them. But we do have a special guest. Our speaker today is Miss Annie Ray. Where's Annie? Hello, Annie. President-elect Shawn DeRose. And then we have the VASSP past president, Carolyn Bernard, and current chair of the Board of Development Committee. So, Carolyn. We have Dr. Randy Barrack with us, who is the executive director. I was teasing him for 96 years, since this is the 96th conference, so something like that. But I think he has almost as half, though, don't you? Almost 50, or pardon me, 40 in there. Okay. Obviously, beside him is our state superintendent, Dr. Lisa Coons, and then we have Tim Beatty, who's a board member, is going to do an award today as well. We have Carol Robinson there as well, and then down at the very end we have Dr. Melanie Patterson. Other than those sitting at the head table, I'd like to recognize all the members of our state conference as well as our board members. If you're a VASSP board member, would you please stand? Stand around. All right, give us a round of applause. Thanks for all the work. I'm pleased to say that our board has grown extensively. I went on the board 6 years ago, and it was slim pickings, and that's how I ended up on the board. But after that, we have a full board. We can't even fit everybody in the board room. We're well represented across the state, so I appreciate the work that each of you do to make this organization better and thus this conference better as well. Well, VASSP is proud to announce its 2024 winners for Middle School Principal of the Year, High School Principal of the Year, and Secondary School Assistant Principal of the Year. Dr. Carol Robinson, Chair of the Principals Awards Committee, will you join me and make the presentations, please?
Good afternoon. Our 2024 Outstanding Middle School Principal of Virginia believes in a passionate, people-centered approach with a school vision that focuses on meeting the needs of every member of the school family through the judicious use of data, communication, and relationship building. To learn from stakeholders what was working, needed to be altered, and needed to be enhanced, our award winner worked with colleagues to develop and conduct an interview protocol. Based on the responses, additional teachers were hired to extend offerings in art, health and PE, world language, and performing arts. Celebratory results included a significant decrease in chronic absenteeism and an increase in SOL scores leading to full accreditation. Analysis of more data led to creating snapshot assessments, enabling all students to have access to this Striving Readers resource, and piloting Sources of Strength, a program focused on student mental health awareness. When the interviews revealed a need for increased communication, our award winner went to work. Monthly community forums and newsletters, messages and videos on social media, quarterly Facebook Live events, and school messages to parents every Sunday at 6 p.m. Parents recognize and appreciate that our award winner makes a sincere effort to connect with parents, students, and community members in a way that is convenient for them. According to his superintendent, our award winner, quote, is an exemplar who continues to lead with grace, love, innovation, creativity, and drive, who has a clear understanding that Maslow must come before Bloom and works closely with families to ensure they are taken care of. That is part of his core being, one teacher added, the belief that every person matters, and he actively seeks to promote an equitable working and learning environment. He has changed the culture in our building to one of being ready to meet challenges head on and expect success from every student. A final observation is offered by one of his students. Quote, I think of my principal as the opposite from the Wizard of Oz. What I mean by this is our principal doesn't hide behind the curtain, his office door, and then pop out at the end of the day. He always keeps his door open to us if we need to talk to him. He walks the halls with us. He stops you to say hi and ask how you are doing. He takes the time to acknowledge our individual achievements. You are important in his eyes. Thank you for being the wizard that our students need.
The Virginia Association of Secondary Schools hereby recognizes Dr. Matthew Stripmatter as our 2024 Outstanding Middle School Principal of the Year for exceptional service, dedication, and leadership as principal of Elizabeth Davis Middle School, Chesterfield City School Division, June 26, 2024.
If you were to ask our 2024 Outstanding High School Principal of Virginia about her purpose, vision, and beliefs, you would hear passion behind these three responses. Leading in education requires love and purpose. Leaders must love the work, the staff, and, most importantly, the students they serve. This love is their why. Students and teachers need leaders with a vision who stay focused on the work. This shared vision is the what. The learning process is an act of empowerment for every student. Our award winner uses data to make decisions and act with conviction and certainty. Faced with triangulated data of a 76% increase in the enrollment of English learners, EL students never speaking a word of English during the school day, and significant SOL gaps, our award winner was spurred into action. Staff training for language-rich classrooms, peer mentoring, additional teaching assistants, and a designated counselor resulted in significant increases in SOL pass rates in math, history, and science, along with reduced failures in required non-core classes. Her vision of empowerment extended to EL students having access to advanced courses. She piloted the Equal Opportunity Schools program, resulting in increases in the number of EL students taking advanced classes by 67%, and the percentage of EL students who earned a 3 or higher on AP tests by 24.6%. As part of her efforts to strategically develop a positive climate and culture in her school, our award winner created the Principal's Student Advisory Council. The students in this group have been instrumental in having input for the school budget, school systems, and student well-being. The benefits have been twofold. The Advisory Council has been adopted and modeled in all division high schools, and the school itself has the lowest percentage of exclusionary discipline in the division. Her superintendent noted that our award winner, quote, is a driven, hardworking, and passionate instructional leader who leads with integrity and equity as a moral imperative, with a progressive vision and sincere dedication to improving educational outcomes for every learner. Thank you for being the visionary that our students need.
The Virginia Association of Secondary School Principals hereby recognizes Lisa Marie Kane, 2024 Outstanding High School Principal of Virginia, for exceptional service, dedication, and leadership as principal of Osborne Park High School in the Prince William School Division. Congratulations.
While most administrators work with more than one department, it is a special treat to learn about the dedication and love provided by our 2024 Outstanding Secondary School Assistant Principal of Virginia for both the mathematics and the performing arts departments. According to her principal, she is able to toggle seamlessly between these two different types of thinking. As a previous math teacher, our award winner was not satisfied when math scores were lower than expected. She went into action. strategically hiring math instructors with special education certification, working directly with math collaborative learning teams, instituting a plan for math teachers to provide high-dosage tutoring, and facilitating professional development. She even tutored a struggling 12th grader herself, ensuring that he graduated on time. In addition to graduation rates, Math SOL scores showed exciting gains from 19% by Hispanic students to 32% by Black students to 34% by English learners. Because her school is a specialty school for the fine and performing arts, our award winner has not only accepted added expectations as its administrator, but also, according to her principal, quote, has taken it upon herself to serve as a pseudo-executive producer to the main shows and performances, skillfully handling the different personalities of our arts teachers, students, and parents. Each year, she creates and produces 2 Broadway quality color programs for the school's musicals, thus providing a forever keepsake for budding thespians and their families. Our award winner believes that, quote, being a champion for students is what matters. Her principal appreciates her ability to, quote, perfectly blend the accountability of performance in the classroom with the nurturing ability to support our students. One student thought that because this was a large high school, that he was going to be just one in the masses. Surprise! She knows me by name, she knows I'm a member of the band, and comes to every performance we have. Clearly, no one is hidden from our award winner at this school. Thank you for being the champion that our students need.
The Virginia Association of Secondary School Principals hereby recognizes Karen Riddle, 2024 Outstanding Secondary School Assistant Principal of Virginia, for exceptional service, dedication, and leadership as Assistant Principal of Charles J. Colligan Senior High School, also in Prince William School Division. My apologies. Our award winners will have a Learning Lab presentation tomorrow on how effective leaders get results. I'm sure they'll have plenty to share and say. Herb Jones began a tradition with us many years ago that is to honor our Virginia Awards recipients with a custom leadership ring. They will be presenting these rings to our annual recipients earlier this fall. Best wishes and congratulations on your leadership recognition. Good job. And with the recipients, please stick around after lunch for a photo op. Thanks. Okay, at this time, Carolyn Bernard will present the Gavel of Authority Award. Dr. Keith Perrigan will speak for 3... Well, oops, no, I won't.
Good afternoon. It is a pleasure to present the VASSP Gavel of Authority Award. The Gavel of Authority Award is to recognize an individual who uses their position of authority to advance and strengthen the role of the Virginia school principal and assistant principal. The Virginia Association of Secondary School Principals does not present this award annually, but only when merit and accomplishment deserve to be recognized. And today, our honoree is deserving of this special recognition. He has quite an impressive resume, not only with an emphasis on educational leadership, but also community involvement. He is a past member of the VASSP Board of Directors and served as our president from 2012 to 2013, while he was principal of Patrick Henry High School in Washington County Public Schools. He was an outstanding board member and president, and went on to continue to make considerable leadership accomplishments after his years as a building principal, including serving as superintendent of Norton City Schools for 3 years, the superintendent of Bristol City Schools for 5 years, and he is currently serving as the superintendent of Washington County Schools. As the founder and president of the Small and Rural Schools Coalition, his counsel is often sought. This dynamic leader has served on numerous task forces, work groups, and committees for the Virginia Department of Education and several of our Virginia governors. He continues to be active with our current governor and certainly has him, the Secretary of Education, and the state superintendent making frequent trips to the southwestern part of the Commonwealth. He is consistently out front, leading leaders on what he thinks needs to be done to improve public school education, as well as the leadership of public schools. His tenacity and goodwill will be impressive, is impressive, and something that our VASSP board has observed for years. As school principals, we are fortunate to have so many of our members become division superintendents, and even more fortunate to have those who remember what it was like to be a principal and the increased difficulty the job has become. And given the opportunity to introduce my friend, how could I not mention a few personal notes? He is a former professional bus model. He is a former licensed professional wrestler, and he is a bear trapper. Please join me in congratulating the 2024 Gavel of Authority Award to Dr. Keith Perrigan, Superintendent of Washington County Public Schools.
Is this upside down? Carolyn, I'm going to have to move this up just a little. So it looks like that President Kelly says I'm going to speak for 30 minutes. Is that right, Dr. Barrack? Well, Dr. Barrack and members of the VASSP board, I'm certainly humbled and honored. Probably not even deserving of this award, but certainly it means a lot. I sat in on those board meetings when the decisions were made about those the awards being given. I know that Dr. Barrack does not let those go out without a lot of discussion and debate. So I'm certainly honored and humbled to be recognized with that. So thank you very much. Thanks to all the board members. Let me just say three things very quickly. First, the secondary school principal is the hardest job in public education, no question. Y'all can applaud. That's for you. If your superintendent doesn't believe that, have them call me. I'll tell them. Okay? Better yet, invite them to shadow you just for a day, because as Carolyn said, I do remember what it's like to be in the trenches, and the job has not gotten any easier over the last decade as I've moved on to the superintendency. And so I remember that each and every day, and so thank you for that hard work. Secondly, and connected to that, let me also say, embrace the hardness, because nothing that you'll do in this life amounts to anything if it's easy. I would also say, love this job or leave it. But definitely, if you don't do one of those two, don't speak poorly about it in public. We will never, ever fill the leadership pipeline if we're not raising up our own profession. And it truly is a blessing. It is a blessing to be able to work with young people and to have an impact on the future and to pour into their lives. So when you start to feel down because of that hardness, embrace that blessing, because not everybody gets that opportunity. So take advantage of that. And then finally, I would say be engaged and involved with your state organization. The VASSP has long been a respected voice with the Virginia Board of Education and the General Assembly. As a matter of fact, I developed my passion for advocacy when I was on this board. We were a dozen years ago. I think I see Abe there. We were fighting through A through F as it came around the first time around, and we're talking about accreditation systems now. And one area of critical importance for everybody in this room are the high school readiness standards. And your organization has a great opportunity to have impact and input into the decisions that are being made around that. So please be active in your organization, because it is certainly, we only have a minute to lend our voice, and if we don't take advantage of those minutes, we only have ourselves to blame. But again, Dr. Barrack, members of this board, I really am honored and humbled. I salute each and every one of you for the hard work that you do. Enjoy this conference and learn from it, but also take a minute to relax and spend time with your family, because oftentimes they're the ones that take the brunt of all the hard work that you do. So thank you very much, and again, thank you.
It's easy to see why we selected him, and it was a good choice. I'd like to go work for him. But you went over your time, so. Now Tim Beatty will present the Frank E. Flora Lamp of Knowledge Award.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my honor and pleasure to have been selected to present this year's Frank E. Flora Lamp of Knowledge Award. I have known this year's recipient personally and consider him to be an outstanding role model, mentor for me and many, many others. He is literally a living, breathing, walking encyclopedia and handbook for all things administratively, school administration, and school law. So I highly encourage you, once I introduce you to this individual, to take a few minutes to talk with him, because he can tell you everything you need to know about school administration and school law. The Frank E. Flora Lamp of Knowledge Award is named after VASSP's first executive director and CEO, longtime association advisor, while a professor at the University of Virginia. Incidentally, Dr. Flora went on to be the first full-time executive director of the Virginia Association of School Superintendents. The spirit of the Frank E. Flora Lamp of Knowledge Award is to recognize individuals in the field of education who bring honor to the profession, respect to school principalship, exceptional contributions working with school leaders, and outstanding support to Virginia school public education. This description of the award is indeed the description of our award recipient this year. He is a master scholar and has been at the forefront of VASSP long before he served as an associate president from 1989 to 1990. He met our chief executive officer, Dr. Randy Barrack, while they both were doctoral students a very, 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 very long time ago at UVA. In fact, the rumor has it that the award recipient and Dr. Barrack could be seen frequently horseback riding with Thomas Jefferson in the early morning hours in Charlottesville. Now, we know that's not true because Dr. Barrack doesn't even own a horse. But that part about them hanging out with Thomas Jefferson, 100% true. Okay, I'm lying. For his service to VASSP, our award recipient has been the director of VASSP and our Foundation Center for Educational Leadership at the University of Lynchburg for over 20 years. The VASSP legal editor since 2003. In fact, members of the Virginia Assembly still call him for clarity on legislation and school law issues. Author of VASSP's popular General Assembly update, Changes in School Law. He has done numerous workshops for VASSP and our foundation. Truly, this number is in the hundreds. He is currently VASSP's director of the Virginia Principals Mentoring Pilot Program, created earlier this year by our very own state superintendent, Dr. Lisa Coombs. I could go on and on and on about the attributes of our esteemed award recipient, but I simply don't have the time to do so today. I will say that Virginia Public School Education is fortunate to have had our award recipient spend his first career as a teacher, middle and high school principal, and assistant superintendent for the first 40 years, and then his second career, an additional 20 years, as an education professor and dean of School of Education. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring Dr. Roger E. Jones as the recipient of the Frank E. Flora Lamp of Knowledge Award.
Apparently, getting old has its advantages. I am very honored and very humbled to accept this recognition. And it's a double honor because I do think that probably in this audience, Dr. Barrack and I are the only people who had the honor of having Dr. Flora as a professor at the University of Virginia. He did tremendous work during his time as executive director of this association, and Randy took over for him and worked very closely with him and has been actively engaged in this work for many, many years. I would share with you just really a couple of things, and I support Dr. Perrigan's comment about the principalship being the hardest job you'll ever have. It was for me as well, but it was the most rewarding job I've ever had. You make a difference every single day and never lose sight of that difference that you make. Dick Flannery, who was the Associate Executive Director for NASSP, once told me that your PQ and your CQ are more important than your IQ. Your passion quotient and your curiosity quotient are what drive you. In fact, Albert Einstein once wrote that I am not the most intelligent person, I just have a passionate curiosity. I encourage you to develop that passionate curiosity, to approach every day at work with a passion for what you do, for the impact that you make, for the difference that you make in the lives of every single child that you touch every day. That passion, and if you're lucky like me, I've never had a job, I've only been able to live my passion. If you look at your profession as a passion, and if you use your curiosity to constantly ask yourself why things are the way they are and do they have to be that way, and can we not make them better, that will make your job incredibly, incredibly rewarding. I appreciate what all of you do every single day. And finally, you really don't do it alone. We have many people in our lives who impact us, and I have more than my fair share. And way too many to say thank you to today. But I do have one that I need to say thank you to. Because as Keith said, when you're a principal, your family is actively engaged in your school in many cases, and mine was. And without the support of my wife of almost 54 years, my 50 plus years in this profession would not have been as rewarding, because she gave me the opportunity, in spite of the fact that she lived her passion and curiosity for 30 years herself. She gave me the opportunity to live my passion and to explore my curiosity. So to my wife, Jackie, I thank you for almost 54 years and 2 great kids. And I encourage all of you to continue to do the work that you're doing and to remember the difference that you make. Thank you.